it's a really big one to recognise that the way the brain works, and so we're into Storyland again. The way the brain works is it produces what is apparently solidly outside of us, right? So you could say, I can look across the room and see a wall, and that wall is there, right? But that's a useful concept. Because
Yeah.
if it didn't do that, you'd walk into the wall and hurt your nose, or whatever. But essentially, it's a concept because what is actually there is what comes in through your eyes. And you could say, well, what comes in through my eyes is shape and colour. And then you look at the fact that you've got two eyes and they're this far apart, and you look down and it focuses down to a narrow point over there, and then you can guess that that's all right. That's 5 metres away, or however far away it actually is. Same with our ears; they're stereoscopic ears, so we can pinpoint the origin of sound. But if you look at let's say you had a painting on a stand in front of you, and on that painting was a pathway that ran off into the distance, right? The reality is it's on a flat piece of, say, canvas, and that the pathway starts wider at the bottom and gets narrower and runs up the canvas. And when you look at it, it looks like it's going away from you into the distance,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
So you could go behind the canvas and there's no pathway. You don't need to do that because there's no pathway there behind it. It's all an illusion created by this thing called perspective on the canvas, on the flat canvas. When you look at the real world, that's exactly the same thing that happens. It's exactly that your brain is telling you that it runs off into the distance, when in fact it's a two-dimensional picture in your brain that you're seeing. And your brain's working out that it's 3D and that there's actual distance there, and that point where the thing turns is going to be 100 metres up the road. So it's clever. The brain's really clever the way it does. But what it takes is the same as what's on a painting. It takes this 2D image and converts it into a 3D, gives it a 3D meaning. It's a construction, the meaning. And it gives that. And that's very useful, of course. We would be up shit creek if we couldn't do that kind of thing.